If you ask Shaun Micheel to make a wish while going head-to-head with Chad Campbell at the 2003 PGA Championship, he would have expressed his desire, of course, to win the PGA Championship, but also win for the first time on tour. But in Micheel's wildest dreams, he could not have imagined the magnificent shot that would fly off his 7-iron Sunday at the last. Because at that moment, the 7-iron became a magic wand. And it not only granted Micheel's wish, but as it turns out, the wishes of so many others.
I wish all of us could end childhood sickness. That's not possible.
Marion, how you doing, buddy? You feeling okay?
So I do the best that I can with Make-A-Wish Foundation and try to bring them joy and happiness. If I can do that, then I think that's good enough for me.
It's really hard to explain how much I love these kids. All we want as parents is to see our kids grow up to be healthy. And if I was gone today, I've lived a great life, but I want my children, just like all of you do, to grow up to be healthy and happy. It's just great to be able to have an opportunity to be here and play some small role in what Make-A-Wish does.
These children, they have life-threatening medical conditions, and we come in, we kind of swoop in, and we grant that child's wish. Every wish is granted.
It started out having a golf tournament in my name and all the things that go with it, but I never had an understanding that I would feel the way that I feel about Make-A-Wish and the children and the families that are affected.
For one day, we got to forget about treatment and celebrate Zane.
My wish was to be a firefighter. They had surprises for me and firefighter toys and firefighter things.
When I first started the event, I played in dozens, if not hundreds of these pro-ams. You go in, there's 15 or 20 of us that show up at an event, and I wanted to do mine a little bit differently. We just decided that we were going to make the Make-A-Wish children the focus of the event. The Make-A-Wish children are the team captains of the event.
Thank you, buddy. It was good to meet you.
Now look, they're not all healthy enough to come. Some that are planning to come, their doctors basically say, no, you're not, tell the families they're not well enough to get outside and be around people. But for the young boys and girls that are able to come, it's an incredible experience.
We're just blessed to have him to be a part of it. We've raised over $1.5 million, and it's just a beautiful thing.
The people that pay to play in the event, they get a chance to see where the money's going. And I think that's been one of the things that I've really embraced. Every year we've given wishes away. I think this is our 9th wish. It's so much fun to be able to give these wishes.
The wish last night was a band, but the lead singer of the band, 17-year-old, and they wanted to record an album.
Tonight your wish is granted.
And the wish you guys granted, they're going to get 2 days in a studio in Nashville, the tour bus taking them there. I can't imagine at just 17 years old to get the opportunity. That has to be amazing.
Those things are really, I think, the spirit of Make-A-Wish. Before I won, I still visited St. Jude and stuff like that.
He's talking to you.
What?
Can you see it? Can you see it?
But to really firsthand have something that was my own with the Shaun Micheel Make-A-Wish Golf Classic, that I could really just dedicate all of my energies into that one group.
Come on, bud.
I think winning the championship allowed me to help the children. My first tour victory was the victory at Oak Hill, and it was a whirlwind. It was just a tricky golf course. It was probably the most difficult golf course that I think I'd played at that point. So there was no expectations whatsoever that I was going to win the tournament. My world ranking was 169. I was going to be 100 to 1 or something like that. My wife was, like I said, she was 6 months pregnant. She was probably just as nervous as I was. She was wearing a bright pink blouse. And I thought to myself when I was walking out there, I said, I'm glad she's wearing that because I'm going to do my best to find her on every single shot of the day and just use that to try to bring me back when negative thoughts, self-doubt, and all of those things start to creep in. The PGA of America brings the trophy out there to show it off, and it's sitting there to the right, and I'm looking at it. And of course, I'd answered a dozen questions, if not more, on what it would be like to have my name, on the trophy. So those things are always in your mind, particularly when you see it for the first time. I needed to get off the first tee and just get out there playing.
Next on the tee, from Memphis, Tennessee, Shaun Micheel.
I felt like it was going to be a fight from the beginning.
Now Chad Campbell.
Chad was playing well.
Put some pressure on him. I got no idea how this is going to play out. Two kids here trying to win their first golf tournament. Oh, by the way, a major.
Well, you always want your adversary right there.
And here's Campbell.
Wow, what a tee shot.
Well, the 14th hole is really, I think, where it changed for me. I felt so good about what I was doing off the tee. The yardage was right, and I just instinctively grabbed the driver. I remember not conversing with my caddy. I'm sure he was probably a little bit nervous.
It's a nice straight hit. Seemed solid.
I'd seen the first bounce, and I knew, well, it's got to be around the green. That is the hole that I knew I was going to win the tournament on the 14th.
Got it! Shaun Micheel leads in the final round of the PGA by 3 strokes with 4 holes to play.
And then on 15,
Had a chance.
You bet.
What a putt by Chad Campbell.
Chad made that putt, and I'm like, well, maybe I'm not going to win.
And suddenly the lead is narrowed back to 1.
Chad was up first on 18 and hit a great drive.
Wow, what a tee shot.
Saved 2 of his best swings off the tee for the last 2 holes.
I remember you needed a driver off the tee. I could have probably hit a 3-wood, but I felt like I needed to get it as far down there as I could.
He needs to step up and pick out a target and just rip it.
And I hit a drive.
That's a generous kick. What a break there.
Some people think I got a good break, but in reality, I got a bad break because my ball hit in the left side of the fairway instead of kicking right, because the fairway kind of cants that way to the right. It bounced left, but I knew that I had a shot at the green.
7-iron.
And I remember my caddy yelling, "Be right."
Be right.
Mid-flight, I'm thinking, why is he talking to my ball? He never talks to my ball. There's just a tremendous roar.
PGA Championship lure. Does he have any idea, David, that he's inches from the hole?
No, he does not know.
From my perspective, I didn't know how close it was. You could see the ball in relation to the flag, but I've had holes where I've walked up and thought that I was an inch and I was 5 feet short or 5 feet long.
Wait till he climbs the rise, the 45-foot rise fronting this green, and sees that he doesn't have to sweat this one out. Here he comes. Wait till he gets this peak. He knows now.
When I got to the top of the hill and saw that I couldn't miss a 2-inch putt, it felt pretty good. I finally was going to win my first PGA Tour event. I saw my wife standing off to the left side of the green in that bright pink blouse that I'd found, all day. The first thing I said to my caddy, "Can I hit this putt left-handed?"
Absolutely. Unreal. Shaun Micheel is the PGA champion.
Stephanie came down the hill and gave me a great big hug and said she loved me. And, I reached down and with her being 6 months pregnant, I kissed her belly and gave it a little rub. I've known my wife since she was 11 years old. And so she's seen the great things in golf that I've done, and she's seen a lot of the struggles and frustrations. And for her to be there, and for my son Dade to be there partly, something I'll never forget. And I don't keep a lot of this stuff out. As you can see, I've just got an old beat up box. This is my 7-iron, and I haven't really taken this out. It kind of defined me as a golfer and maybe kind of how my life has changed, everything else. I still go out around town and people will come up to me and talk about my 7-iron and talk about the win and how great it was, but that's past. I'm a professional golfer, but at some point that comes to an end. And I still want to do more in helping the children and the families with Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Shaun's reach has clearly extended beyond golf. When we come back, you will meet Jeff Sluman. In many ways, a surprise PGA champion on a wind-blown course in Oklahoma. This quiet and subdued professional battled the elements in 1988 to reach his personal Arc of Triumph.